So let's look at our match focus for the MTN Fast Super League. This weekend, our match analysis will dwell on Red Arrows Football Club versus Power Dynamos. So it was Ona Janza versus Dan Kawe. Let's look at the two lineups which were made by the two gaffers. Of course, yes, these two gaffers very qualified. So 4-1-3-2 by both coaches. Dudengoma comes in the absence of Festus Mbeo for Red Arrows, and he plays up front with Lubinda Mdia, whilst for Power Dynamos you have the midfield attacking three of Kelvin Mwanga, Larivwalia, and Stumbeko. Then you've got Jimmy Njovu and Fuayo Tembo wearing shirt number 9 and 7 respectively, leading the attack. This had the toppings, gentlemen, of a very good game of football. Janza versus Cowboy.
Yeah, exciting game, I must say. And looking at the front lines, both sides, very exciting. I mean, Stumbeko, Fuayo, and Rari, my best player.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay, yeah, you sound like a cheerleader right now. But anyway, let's look at Power Dynamos in attack. Let's save the visitors first and just have a look at what they were doing when in possession of the ball and when they were trying to attack. Now, interesting is that Power Dynamos at the back, look at that shape at the back. So you have Billy Kemptade playing almost like a sweeper. White Mwanamba, of course, having a run out there as his central defensive partner. But I'm also looking at where Lawrence Chungu, the jersey number 30, is, and the number 2, Alan Kamwanga Jr. It was an interesting duo there between Shimbi and Kamwanga Jr. But one thing that I saw, and perhaps it's going to cause a lot of teams problems, Arthur, is that when Power Dynamos have the ball, like in that position where Larry Warrior, the number 11, has the ball there, look at where Fuayo is. Look at where Stumbeko is. Look at where Kelvin Mwanga is. They are all ready to receive a pass. It's easier said than done in those situations.
Yes, Sita, but what I think what Danica was done when they've got the ball in that central midfield is to make those wingers go wide so that they create space. If the defenders don't concentrate enough, they will try to close down those wingers. But if they do that, then they will leave spaces like for Fuayo and Jimmy Njovu to exploit. It will be a 1v1 at the central defense thing, which is not difficult, which is not good for the game of football. At the back, you need to be very, very compact so that shape has to be kept regardless of the position of the attackers.
Okay, so let's look at what for me was the man of the match in this game. Tormentor in chief for Red Arrows, Kelvin Kelechi Mubanga Kampamba was actually the tormentor in chief. Let's just look at the statistics he got. He opened the scoring and made it 1-0 to Power Dynamos. Of course, Dudengoma had to equalize. But look at that. Played 67 minutes, scored 1 goal, won 4 fouls. That's free kicks for his team. He had 2 shots on target and 1 off. And now, if you look at the total for the team, it's only Fuayo Tembo who had a shot on target, other than Kelvin Mwanga. So when he went off, I'm sure Dankawa was a less than happy bunny in the circumstance.
Yeah, even me as a coach, whenever I'm playing against Power, this boy is, is so difficult to to plan for. You want to plan for Kampamba, you start thinking, okay, he'll be doing this. When you go on the field, he'll be doing something different. It's very unpredictable.
But we're talking about marking the earlier. John Chingandu playing almost a similar role wide, but he's got some work ethic that we should actually admire for a player with the silky skills he has. And looking at those statistics,
you know the way Kampamba plays is he always tries to find space to shoot at goal. That's how he plays. Whether he's playing from the right or from the left, because he can take a shot with the left, he can take a shot with the right. No wonder he got so many shots on target compared to any other player for
again.
I think
I think comparing Kampamba and Chingando, Kampamba is more physique than Chingando.
So he's
That's my
stronger
thinking.
player
Yeah,
on
he's
the ball.
more stronger on the ball than Chingando. Chingando is more of a Calabar type.
Oh, it doesn't like traffic.
No.
Tisk,
He wants
physicality.
the ball is just free. It will damage you. But Kampamba can go in tussles, heavy tackles and stuff.
Let's have a look at what the Airmen, Red Arrows, were doing in attack, because the home team and managed to actually get one goal. But most important for Red Arrows in this game was probably Stanley Nshimbi. But let's have a look at what Red Arrows was doing in attack and look at the dynamics of what the attack was and what it meant playing against a power Dynamo side. So you have Shimbi there playing on the wide area. Then you have Ivan Simsonda, who was actually playing on the wide area there. Then you tend to think about it, Arthur, and say, these guys should have been getting goals, especially 4-4-2. They needed to bring in a lot of crosses for Dude and Lubindamdia, but not quite the thing. And maybe it's because of this phenomena we are discussing, that the winger now is being asked to go to the back post as opposed to remain on the line to give another cross.
No, Zit is football. The way it's played, when you are in the wings, the other winger has got the ball. Definitely, the one who has got no ball has to get in the box to make up numbers, so that when the ball, mostly even when training, coach, when training, you tell us like that crossing and finishing.
We call it balance in attack.
Balance in attack.
Yeah.
When the ball is on the left, the other guy on the right has to
drift in.
cut
in the half space.
in the half and take the it's either he takes the far post or that penalty area box if the number 8 is lagging behind.
Okay, let's just have a look at Red Arrows in transition, because again you have a power Dynamo side that was now look, Stanley Nshimbi staying high and wide kept Alan Kamwanga busy. He gave him a lot to think about in terms of going forward. So he basically sat back. He seldom went forward. But there's Msonda again. Msonda, in terms of recovery, especially when they lose the ball, that perhaps is a worry. And now you're asking Ivan Msonda to put in work rate, especially in a 4-4-2. And it's clear there's nobody covering for him specifically. His partner is Chepeshi, and it wasn't happening. So I'm thinking, who should be the playmaker in chief? Who should have a bit of a free role? Because for me, it looked like the jersey number 17, Shimbi, was actually the guy with the free role, and who kept Alan Kamanga Jr. back. What about Evans Msonda? How much work should he do defensively?
Well, I mean, I think the way they were playing, if you have Nshimbi and Evans, it means the second striker has to come down to come and help the midfield, because those guys have to be to open wide. So now, if these guys, if the two guys, Evans and Nshimbi, are wide, if Mundia is not coming down, then we have a problem.
Yeah, perhaps a very big problem, but they'll be lucky, of course. The good work ethic by Luvinda Mdia is a center forward, but in terms of working for the team, he actually drops and gets into the correct position. Let's just look at both teams. It was a highly tactical, mechanized game. Both teams were compact centrally. Now, look at those spaces there. And this is where I think the playmakers come in. The wingers, Stumbeko, the jersey number 17 for Power, Muvanga, 24 for Power as well. Then you've got the two wingers, Evans, the number 12, and Shimbi, the number 17 there. Now, immediately somebody wins the ball there. Somebody needs to open up. But again, with very little space to run in, you've got Julius Tumbeko, very quick. But, he needs space to maneuver. So, 1-1. Maybe that's why that happened.
You know what happens when I look at the tactics of the game. No wonder Nshimbi wasn't dropping much. because if he was dropping, he would give Kamanga. Oh, is a good defender, but when it comes to attacking, he's also good. You go forward, put in those crosses. No wonder Nshimbi was restricted to make him not move out of the defensive zone. So was Evans. So was Evans, because Lawrence Chung is also good when he has the ball. So when he gets the ball from deep, you don't have that much chance to go forward because the distance is just too much. You need to find someone to play within the midfield.
Okay, so there was also a gentleman by the name of Fuayo Tembo who had the captain's armband for Power Dynamos. Let's just have a look at him coming deep, because it was a congested game, and when it's a congested game, he would come that deep as depicted there, the number 17, almost finding Shadrach Malambo there and trying to get the ball from the center circle and try to take it up. But one compliment for Power is that the way they would interchange positions. The space vacated by Fuayo Tembo, the number 7, has been taken up by the jersey number 17, Stumbeko. Of course, Luka Lungu is there in the correct position. Even when Jimmy Njovu was there, it was the same thing. When Kennedy Mdenda came on, it was practically a system that I think is coming to pass. Now, if you're Dan Kabwe, you like that, but you'll be disappointed that you didn't get 3 points.
Yeah, I think, of course, I've seen the way Fuayo plays. When Fuayo is playing the second striker, when the ball is not coming on top, he will go down to go and get the ball down in the midfield. That space, the space that he leaves, it's either Radi or Stumbeko will go and fill that.
But right there is that we didn't see Lawrence Chungu actually filling up that void on the left. The space on the left hasn't been taken care of, because he's thinking, okay, if I go, Evans Msonda might have a picnic over here.
I don't know. Let me come in there. I don't know. Maybe it's just the nerves or something. Because if you see the way Power plays at home, that boy Lawrence, the way he plays, you'll be surprised. And the way he was performing on that particular day, I don't know. I was so surprised. I don't know if it's the nervousness or something. I don't know.
Let's just have a look at the free kicks that Power Dynamos won in this game, because with technicians like Mubanga, Stumbeko and the others, now look at the positions they actually won free kicks. All those on the right-hand side of the pitch were won by Mubanga. And that one there on the top, just under the 18, was actually struck by Mubanga for the shot off target, but he gave Danim Nyao something to think about, and that one in the 18, Akim Mumba actually considered a free kick. But I'm thinking, if you've got that much skill, you should be getting the likes of Joliba to kick you and win more free kicks. But yes, it was happening. Maybe Joliba did his job again, because I remember watching the very same fixture last year. Power started with Kennedy Mdenda, and guess what? He didn't finish the game.
That's how Joseph Zimba played against him before. That's how he plays. He will intimidate you. First minutes, early minutes of the game will intimidate you.
He will introduce himself to you.
Yeah, no wonder Kampamba got a lot of free kicks, but that area that he got those free kicks from is
it's Joseph Zimba territory.
Yeah, that's Joseph Zimba's territory, and those areas are not Kampamba's territory. Because mostly when he's calling free kicks, it's either on the middle or on the left side. That's when he takes them in.
Okay, so let's have a look at the free kicks that Red Arrows won, because one of them was actually very important. It led to the goal. So the one on the top left of your screen, that is the free kick that saw Dude Ngoma actually win that header, free header in the 18 and score. But generally, Red Arrows had the better organization. Let's also show you the match stats and just bring you up to speed with what actually happened in terms of the general match statistics and what we saw. You see that Red Arrows had 11 shots off target compared to only 4 for Power Dynamos. But on target, Arrows 5, Power 4. So I don't know who should be worried when you look at those statistics.
On my side, I think Power Dynamos are supposed to be worried because shots of target. To me, I encourage my boys because I know it's something is coming. Keep shooting, even if it goes off target. It's okay.
16 scares. Is that too much for a Super League team?
It's not too much. If you are giving them space to shoot, that's not too much. Even 30 scares can come to you. It's how you defending.
Okay, so you're not worried.
No.
It's
The way
water under the bridge.
No, but for Power Dynamos, they need to be worried. They have to be worried because 11 shots, 16 shots are too much.
Okay.
In one game.
Okay, so that was the game.